Take a moment, wherever you are, whoever you are, and breathe. Give thanks and be grateful for another day. I record this message on the 1st of July. We have just crossed half of the year of 2020. We have been struck with a lot of strange news and also a global pandemic. So it is a very unusual year to say the least. A lot of us have lost jobs, stopped going to work, stopped doing normal activities, and a lot of things that kept our life normal. Whether you are a student, you go to work, or you own a business, this message is for you. How do we still make sure that the year 2020 is a good one? I'm sitting here contemplated how I spent the first 6 months without going to the gym, working from home, not being able to do my side projects that I do all the time, not being able to give speeches or performances. How did you spend the first 6 months? Either way you spent it, whether you feel like you have wasted a lot of time or you feel like you did well, each of us has the potential to make sure the rest of it is a great year, and all in all, it is still a good year. So how do we do that? How do we manufacture and engineer something that would grant us a look back in December thinking, wow, that year was crazy, but it was beautiful? A lot of us has the potential to actually do this. Let's think about potential for a moment here. The way I think about potential is it's like a bomb. Now, I know that sounds bad or crazy, but let me explain what I mean by that. A bomb is basically a small package that sits hidden and unknown, but when it explodes, the effect is high and large and very impressive. It also spreads and affects other things around it. What I'm saying here is that right now, by having the potential, we are able to develop skills that are unseen and may not feel like they are giving us any feedback or any gratification. Absolutely no rewards, but later in the future, they might. Think about it this way. Let us contrast this year with a, quote, normal year. See, what used to happen, for example, if you had a job, you'd go to work all month, and you spend most of your week doing two things: working and sleeping. That means you have no time with your family, no time for yourself, and very limited time to do activities that you actually enjoy, or just have enough freedom, meditate, whatever it is that you're into. And the only thing that makes this even slightly bearable is because you know that very soon, towards the end of the month, you are going to get a reward. And this is basically whether you have a job, then you get paid, or maybe you even go to the gym and say you measure your weight or the way you look every 2 weeks or every month, but now the gyms are closed and you can't do that anymore. The point is, you do something and you expect that there's going to be feedback and a reward soon and a gratification, and then you actually see it and realize it. And of course, in doing so, you don't mind doing the sacrifice of working all month. What we have in 2020, and this is the point I'm going to argue, is basically a month that has been stretched into 12. It is like there is so much time to work, and the reward only comes much later. But what do I mean by work? I have just finished saying that the gyms are closed, and also a lot of people have lost their jobs, their freelance projects, or even if they own a business, the business is likely impacted and slowed down. So what do I mean by work? Well, think about this. The reason you have the job you have right now is very likely to be because of a previous long investment. That could be a long education, courses that you took, or skills that you developed. When you sat with your employer at the interview, in the things you wrote on your resume and also the way you talked about yourself was something of marketing some skills that you have acquired throughout a long time. When you were training and doing all of these skills and getting them acquired, you didn't know that you were going to get this job. You didn't know you were going to be able to actually open this business. You didn't know you were going to get to where you are now. But you invested in yourself anyway, so that it would allow you to do this. This is no different than this time right now. A great way to still make sure 2020 is a great year is basically to work on ourselves without expectation of quick gratification, feedback, or rewards. Maturity is the ability to postpone gratification. Thank you, Freud. This is not to say that the rewards are not going to come, but they are just so far beyond the horizon that we can't yet see them. Surely, this doesn't mean we should stop working and watch a lot of Netflix and do nothing until the end of the year with the excuse that, well, there was a pandemic going on. If you are a writer, it's a great time for you to reflect on your writing and learn how to write better. If you're a musician, pause and think about what you've made, go back and review them, and figure out how to make better music. If you're an employee, figure out new skills to advance you or to make you a better employee. If you own a business, think about new marketing strategies and new ways to expand on the market that you've already made. In life, there is a pattern of seasons, and basically that is where you put some seeds into the ground, and after some time, they grow into fruits, and then you go and harvest them. And this is cyclical. It goes into a cycle. They are seasons. We know exactly when they are, depending on the fruit we're talking about. And again, this is just an analogy, so I'm gonna keep the technicality away from it. But you know what I mean. First you sow, and then you reap. We got used to getting what we worked for with high frequency. In the example of an employee, high frequency means every month. But now in 2020, we don't have a time frame of when we are going to get the reward and how the rewards are going to look like. And that is what we have to live with. If you strategically look at a skill that you want to develop right now, it is going to help you at some point in the future. Make a list of books that you want to read and then attack it. With fitness, it's not only about going to the gym. Maybe you can make your diet better. Maybe you can form new habits of sleeping patterns and things like that. How many times have we said to ourselves, I wish I had more time so I could develop a new skill. I wish I had more time to read more, to write more, to develop myself, to become better, to learn leadership, to learn how to edit videos, graphic design, whatever skill that you might be into. Well, now, you do have this time, and you have a lot of it. And you shouldn't expect that someone is going to pay you next month, or that you will get any feedback. You should expect to go into it kind of like going into a cave and kindling that fire, learning how to do it for a long period of time until you come back and you share it with the world. 12 months is enough time for you to learn anything. I wouldn't say that you can become a master in 12 months, but after 12 months of learning something, you would have learned enough to be able to share it with the world. If you are reading a book on psychology, after 12 months, you should well be able to get into discussions. And even though you're not an expert, you'd still have something to share. And of course, by sharing and getting into discussions, you will learn more about the subject. So sit down and bring out a piece of paper and write down things that you actually want to do, and then start attacking them, set out a plan, and keep doing that until the end of the year with absolutely no expectation of reward anytime in the horizon. Because like I said, this is a year that looks like a month that has been stretched into 12 months. It is basically a moment where we cannot predict the seasons where the fruits are going to come for us to go and invest, but that doesn't mean the fruits are not going to come. With that in mind, I think we are now equipped to actually still make this year a very good one. Slow progress is still progress. Personal goals are also important, and they are just as important as career goals. The way you salvage the year 2020 is by putting in more seeds. As much seeds into the ground, in any soil that you want to, in any field that you choose. The only reason we feel unmotivated to read or do something this year is because we feel like we don't see the point. We feel like there will be no reward, but in reality, like I said, the reward is there, but it's beyond the horizon. I really hope this message was of help to you and is useful. Please share it with your friends so that we can all benefit and look back at December, if we survive, and think that, hey, you know what? This has been a really great year. I had a good time. I written goals, and here they are. I achieved them. I am more fit, I look better. I learned more, and now I can use those skills to navigate life better. I will make another video journal to reflect on the year 2020 and also about what I said here today in these thoughts. So make sure to stay tuned, come back later so you can hear me talk about it, and also share your experience. I'm finished.